They are absolutely lying to you. As they say in court, you must tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, yet most of those videos claiming to tell you the truth about being a real estate agent are leaving out one of the most powerful strategies for success that would make a big difference for you. The truth is, too many of you are going to fail unnecessarily unless you learn this technique and the powerful tool that can help you implement it. So stay tuned till the end. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey, I'm Russ from the Neon Bros. Here's what few coaches, trainers, and motivational speakers have ever told you. There's a way to sell houses, repeatedly, to the same customers without ever having to wait for them to move again. Really. And you don't need to send calendars and Christmas cards as lame tactics for staying in touch. If you're intrigued, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Let's dig in. If we're being honest, most real estate agents were sold a dream and handed a script. From day one, you're told success is about discipline, grinding longer hours, making more calls, hosting more open houses, joining more networking groups, and memorizing perfect lines to deliver to total strangers. You're told to wake up early, prospect relentlessly, handle objections like a pro, and trust the process. Well, you can do all that, but there's another approach that they fail entirely to mention.
Wouldn't you love to have repeat clients? Not the kind where you wait years for them to move again, but the kind who want to buy other properties from you as investments, year after year. By teaching the basics of investing to existing clients and other everyday people, such as friends, relatives, and acquaintances, you can build a pipeline of deals. And our system, called Opportunities Everywhere, can automate the teaching process. It does the work 24/7 while you focus on other things. Go to our website, opportunitieseverywhere.com, and watch the video, sign up, and start growing your business.
By the end of this video, you'll understand how to flip the script from chasing leads to having buyers call you, which gives you more freedom and greater income stability. This approach isn't just more profitable, it's more comfortable and more authentic and so much more sustainable. Because let's face it, nobody enjoys being hung up on, rejected, or treated like a telemarketer. Cold calls are soul-crushing for a reason. People just don't want to be sold to. But the moment you shift the conversation from buying and selling houses to how they can create financial freedom through real estate, the entire energy changes. Suddenly people want to hear from you. They lean in. They're curious. You go from being an interruption to being an invitation. Imagine this difference. Cold call. Hi, this is Sarah from ABC Realty. Are you thinking about buying or selling your home soon? Versus a warm wealth conversation. Hi, this is Sarah from ABC Realty. Did you know your home could help you retire 10 years earlier without you having to save another dime? Now, which one do you think gets a better reaction? Which one do you think prompts more curious questions? Which one would you rather say 20 times a day? And here's the most important question. Which one would you rather say 20 times a day to people you already know? That's the biggest difference of all. When you focus on teaching wealth instead of chasing deals, you stop working against human nature. You're not begging for attention, you're actually earning it. And most of all, you can do it in fewer hours, with more confidence, and without that constant feeling of pressure to perform. Not only that, but your audience is like 1,000,000 times bigger because you're not just targeting people looking to buy or sell a home. Everybody's now your audience because everybody wants to make more money. Not interested in teaching? You don't have to if you use my system.
Successful real estate agents know you're only as strong as your pipeline, but keeping it full shouldn't feel like a grind. Cold calls, awkward networking events, and endless mailers might get your name out there, but they drain your time, money, energy, and enthusiasm. That's why we built Opportunities Everywhere, a smarter, easier way to attract clients you actually enjoy working with. Instead of chasing cold leads, our system creates warm leads for you. Using our library of short, engaging videos, it teaches everyday people, including family, friends, neighbors, and your current clients, how and why to invest in residential real estate. Then, when they're ready to act, they come straight to you. Why would they want to invest? Real estate creates passive income and builds generational wealth. The best part, these aren't just one-time buyers. They're future investors you've shaped from the start. Clients who understand your approach, trust your guidance, and keep coming back to you for their next purchase. If you're ready to fill your pipeline with the kind of clients you've always wanted, visit opportunitieseverywhere.com right away.
The truth is, if you don't create and work with investors, you're leaving money on the table, and you might find yourself forever stuck. Traditional real estate coaching was built on an old school transactional mindset, one that worked 30 years ago when information was scarce and agents were the gatekeepers. But today's clients are smarter, savvier, and have more access to technology. They don't want to be closed, they want to be educated. That's why memorizing scripts and forcing calls feels so unnatural, because it is. It's not your imagination, it's the model. The reason so many agents burn out so quickly is because they're trying to sell in a world that no longer wants to be sold to. The endless hustle, rejection, and emotional roller coaster aren't signs that you're lazy. They're actually signs that you're working under the wrong philosophy. The agents who are winning in today's market are doing the exact opposite. They're simplifying their days. They're actually working fewer hours and focusing their time on meaningful conversations with people who want to learn. They're turning every interaction, every coffee, every introduction, every social post into a teaching moment about how real estate can create financial freedom. And here's the magic. Once people start seeing you as the person who teaches them how to build wealth, not just the person who sells homes to those who are moving, your business becomes effortless. You're no longer pushing for the next lead. You're attracting opportunities because people remember the one who helped them understand the power of ownership, leverage, equity, and appreciation. You're the founder of the feast. If you could use some help jumpstarting your pipeline full of warm leads, sign up for our service, Opportunities Everywhere. This is not just a better way, it's a smarter business model. Here's the reality. There are only so many homes to sell in your market and only so many hours in a day. If your entire business depends on finding the next buyer or seller, you'll always be on a hamster wheel. But when you turn clients into investors, when you teach them to think like investors, you open an entirely new world of repeat business and referrals. One client can become 5 transactions over a decade. Their home purchase, a refinance a few years later, an investment condo, a short-term rental, and even helping their kids buy their first home. But that only happens if you shift your role from salesperson to strategist. This approach transforms your value proposition. Instead of saying, I help people buy and sell homes, you can confidently say, I help people use real estate to build long-term wealth. That single shift makes you stand out from every other agent in your city because 90% of them are still chasing commission checks while you're helping clients change their financial futures. Now let's talk about lifestyle. When you're focused on education and connection rather than hard selling, your days feel easier. You can run a 6-figure business without burning out because every conversation matters and none of them feel forced. You can build a referral-based business that gives you freedom, the kind that most agents never experience because they're trapped in hustle mode. You no longer need to identify people who are buying or selling homes. You now have a blue ocean of opportunity, since even those with no intention of moving are still your potential clients. This gives you such an advantage over every other agent. Every conversation has a purpose, and every person wants to hear it. The beauty of this approach is that it fits naturally into your life. You don't have to time block every minute or wake up dreading cold calls. You just have to start talking about wealth instead of talking about houses. Every person you meet, every renter, every homeowner, every friend or family member has a deep interest in improving their financial security. You're not trying to convince them of something that they don't already want. You're offering them insight that they know that they need. That's why this strategy doesn't feel like work. Every conversation has a purpose, every connection has potential, and every person you meet sees you as someone valuable, not someone trying to get a deal. Instead of pushing people away with robotic, memorized scripts, you're pulling them in with solutions. Instead of forcing yourself to make worthless cold calls you hate, you're having productive discussions that energize you. The future of real estate belongs to the teachers. There's a quiet revolution happening in this business. The agents who survive and thrive in the next decade will be the ones who master education, the ones who can explain how a primary residence can become a launchpad for financial independence, the ones who can show families how to use equity to buy more property, the ones who can help renters see that ownership is the first step toward freedom. Those are the agents who will dominate. And they'll do it without burning out, without cold calling 200 people a day, and without losing their weekends to open houses that lead nowhere. If this sounds helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. So stop trying to sound like every other agent. Stop forcing your business into a box built for someone else's 1980s success story. You don't need to memorize 100 lines to win. You just need to master one truth. People want to learn how to build wealth. Teach them that, and you'll never have to chase another lead again. That's the truth about being a real estate agent, and it's the one they'll never tell you, not because they don't want you to know, but because most coaches and mentors don't know it themselves, because they did it the hard way that they're teaching you. Until next time, I'm Russ from the Neon Bros. If this was valuable, check out our other video about how real estate can turn a 5% return into a 25% return by using leverage. You are not going to want to miss that.